Hello, beloved YouTubers, fellow quarantiners. Hi there, from my room to yours. This is going to be one of my first videos I'm making on my new channel, and it is regarding one infamous topic that we've all heard so much about. It is the coronavirus. Specifically, a particular conspiracy theory that has been developed regarding the origin of this coronavirus, and some government plot to control and rule us all. So please do stick around, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So basically, the content of this video is going to be about the hidden truth behind the coronavirus, the origin, and something that China may or may not be hiding from us as a evil plan to control us all. But so let's get started. So what is 5G exactly? So at the moment it is used as a weapon, a military weapon, and what they do is they fly up in their aircrafts and they use this 5G frequency, obviously at a much higher, stronger voltage, and they basically use it to scatter clouds. And I know if you guys are thinking like, what the F does this mofo even mean? Isn't 5G internet fiber? Yes, it is indeed. But let me just ask you a question. What is the activity you find yourself doing the most throughout the day? I think 99.9% of us would say, especially during this time of quarantine, would say that we find ourselves on our phones, on the internet, on Facebook, etc., etc. And this has become the main mode of communication. So this theory might seem extremely far-fetched for some of you, but just hear me out. If you think about it, it will all make sense. So there are some of us who think or who know that the world is being controlled by 1% of the population. So our countries are controlled by the 1% government, and those governments are possibly controlled by the 1% of elite people. And these people are controlling the narratives that is sent out to the media. They're controlling currencies. They're controlling just everything. They are running the world. So think of it in terms of like a movie. So the director, the producer, they are the 1% that is running the actual movie. But what all we see is the end result. And so if I can use that analogy, if that makes sense. So 5G is used, as I said, at a much higher frequency, and it's used to scatter clouds, and thus used to scatter crowds. So how is this even possible? How is it even that internet fiber can scatter clouds and even further scatter crowds of people? Well, I know it seems weird, but as I said, hear me out. So at the cutting edge of scientific discovery, so we all know that there are some experiments being done, tests being run, studies being done of things that we can't even wrap our heads around, things that we can't even comprehend, things that we don't know. And some of these things we'll only find out in the next few years, the next 10 years. Some things we won't even find out at all. So how scary is that? Let that just sink in. So we know that the information that's being discovered is things that we might not even ever know. But we do know that our human bodies are like antennas. Okay, so we pick up on frequencies, we receive frequencies, and we send out frequencies, and frequencies carry information. So our very DNA, the thing that we are made up of, our fundamental human structure, receives information through frequencies. Okay, so it's important to understand. It's extremely important to understand this, because this is the whole way that the 5G operates. Okay, it operates on frequencies. So like when you send a friend request to someone on Facebook, or you're sending out a tweet, or anything of that nature regarding technology, it's operating via frequencies. Your phone connected to your Wi-Fi is sending out a frequency, and then it leads to that person's phone that's connected to their own internet, and then your frequencies are being sent back and forth in that way, if I'm not mistaken. Similarly, our bodies work the same way. So your brain communicates information to the rest of your body via these frequencies. Okay, so we as human beings on our own, we are operating on our own frequency. So when our frequencies are in balance, we are physically, mentally, psychologically healthy. Okay, and obviously when they're out of balance, we're not healthy, we're not physically healthy, mentally healthy, etc., etc. So what this new technology is doing, this 5G, or well, in general technology, not even 5G, just your phone, your Wi-Fi router, etc., it's messing up with our frequencies. Okay, so if you scramble with these frequencies that our body is operating on, you create an imbalance, which our body translates as mental, physical, and emotional imbalances. Isn't that scary to think about? Just get your head around that. Just replay it and just meditate on that. Like, what? So just think about it. How long can you live without your phone? Like an addict is someone who can't stop doing the very thing that is causing their body the most harm. So drinking, smoking, taking drugs. So when we can't live without our phones, we are addicts in this way. And this makes us a servant to our phones, to technology. Here's a question, some food for thought. Are we controlling it, or is it controlling us? So as I said before, and as we all know, our brains are processing information electrically, and it communicates with our body in this way too. So it has its own sort of band of frequency that it's operating on individually. So I'm operating on a particular frequency, you are operating on a particular frequency, respectively and individually. So here comes the punching line, drum roll. So if governments are sending out frequencies, our brain on its own is really decoding our own internal frequencies. So the frequencies that they are sending out through this 5G technology, our brains are decoding as well. So the funny thing is that our brain is constantly changing. So many years ago, scientists believe that your brain is formed and that's the way it stays. But new discoveries in neuroscience have obviously postulated that our brains are constantly changing. It's never the same, so it changes the way it processes information, etc. So as I said, our brains are processing the external frequencies as well, and this creates a particular perception. So they are sending out frequencies, which results, as I said, in an external perception. So we just need to understand fundamentally that every thought we have, every emotion that we feel, is a frequency in our bodies. So that's why, for example, when you step into a room and two people have just been arguing, you can feel the tension. And that is because it's a frequency. So the frequency of anger, frequency of hatred, frequency of love are all different frequencies. So that's why you say you can cut the tension with a knife. It's something that you can actually feel. So, or like when you meet someone and you aren't sure about them, you don't really know why, but you just know that you're unsure. That is because your frequency is different to theirs. You're operating on two different frequencies. Or when you meet a group of people and you're like, these are my people, you just click with them. These are frequencies. We are all operating on frequencies. So scientists have worked out that our frequencies of the emotions are different. So hate has its own frequency, rage has its own frequency, love has its own frequency. And so governments can send out frequencies without us even knowing. As I said, our brains are constantly changing, and at the moment we are being bombarded with digital stimulus and frequencies. So in essence, the 5G is a plan to install this like little boxes all over the world, sending out frequencies. Mind you that this is a microwave. This 5G frequency is a microwave on steroids. Microwave 500 times worse. And these are going to be placed all around the world. Okay, so imagine the amount of frequencies that are going to be controlling us, controlling our perceptions. The danger is that it is constantly communicating frequencies and interacting with our brain and our body. And this is changing our fundamental human brain, the way we process information. Okay? So it's no surprise that obviously the forerunner of this 5G frequency, 5G technology, is Huawei. And who owns Huawei? China themselves. I don't think this is a coincidence. I also don't think that it's a coincidence that the outbreak of coronavirus started in China. Wuhan was the epicenter. As soon as the rest of the world gets hit with this devastating virus, millions of people infected, or hundreds and thousands of people infected, people's lives ruined. All of a sudden, China is swiftly recovering while the world is just being hit with this monster of a virus, spreading so rapidly within the space of 24 hours. They have miraculously just had a cut-off number of 80,000 something people, and that's where it ended. No more people are being infected with the coronavirus currently in China. That's just where it ended. So many people are being sort of recovered from this virus. I smell something fishy. I smell something very fishy. And now, with the quarantine, the lockdown, what are we all going to do? We're going to be on our phones, which is what I said in the beginning of this video. What do we spend most of the time doing already? We are on our phones. So, I'm on my phone, I'm at home. So this 5G frequency, this technology, doesn't seem like such a bad idea. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to wake up. I refused to be controlled. So the actual question is, what is the correlation between 5G and the coronavirus? I feel like a majority of the media of 5G is being portrayed as a good thing. After so many actual professional people, scientists, have signed petitions against this technology, saying that it is immensely harmful, dangerous to us as human beings. That clearly doesn't faze Huawei, it clearly doesn't faze China. I mean, guys, I refuse to let this world result in a digital dystopia. I'm sorry, I watch The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm sure most of you guys do too, and this is just not the thing. Like, where is the transparency? Just let that sink in. With this quarantine, everyone is on their phones, everyone's going to want to get better Wi-Fi, stay on top of the news, Little do we know that we're actually just puppets being controlled. And actually, whether this is true or not, the day or the month that 5G was launched in China, apparently there were people dropping dead in the streets. I mean, this is how just extreme this technology is. And I mean, is it really necessary? You know, and the link between the 5G and the coronavirus, as I said, the frequencies that are being sent out are messing with our own frequencies that we have, and it's weakening our bodies, it's changing our brains. So let me know what you guys think. I personally don't think that the 5G is the cause of the coronavirus, but I think it definitely has a hand in just our deterioration in our bodies. It's so harmful, and it's harming us, and it's things that we can't even see. I mean, if a 5G frequency was sending out things and we all were covered in blue marks, and then it would be a completely different story. But these are things that are happening subtly within your body that you don't even know. Over the period of 10 years, you'll see the change, you'll feel the change. And this is all an effort to maybe control the world, run the world. Oh, it's no coincidence that China has bought most of the stock market. We need to become more aware, and I'm hoping with this channel that we can discuss things that are actually meaningful. Like, I don't care what Kylie Jenner is doing. I want to know why you feel the need to control me. Anyway, guys, please comment down below. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what's happening. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your conspiracy theory is, what your take on this is, and yeah, let's start this discussion, because I'm sorry, no one's gonna silence me. I want answers. Thanks so much.